Hello, welcome to Central Multiverse's Space Series. Now this video is here if you have an interest, or you're studying, or you clicked on the video accidentally. Either way though, feel free to stop, pause and rewind throughout. If you did click on the video accidentally though, I'm sure you know where to click. If anybody prefers reading to watching videos though, please put below in the comment section and I'll send you the episode transcript. As well as that, if you have any other questions, comments or suggestions, likewise just put them below and I'll try to get to them as quickly as I can. So we begin by looking at the huge lump of rock most of us see night in, night out, and respectively some days, the Moon, which was probably formed when a Mars-sized planet grazed the young Earth's surface and all this debris came together to form the Moon. And this is one of the many theories called the giant impact hypothesis that tries to explain the origin of the Moon. Now, this one seems to have the most sort of acceptance within the scientific community ever since the lunar landings, and this is the one that seems to have the most momentum, and the one that I believe really is the origin of the Moon. So if you're making notes, the exact definition of the Moon is the natural satellite of the Earth, which is illuminated by reflected light from the Sun. Now if you're thinking ahead, this is why we have phases. So phases are the shape of the sunlit side of the Moon, which change over the month because of the Moon's orbit around Earth. And this constant changing gives us various phases throughout the Moon's 29.5 day cycle. Now the first part of the phase is something we actually can't see at all. It's called the new moon. And this is because it starts the cycle, and I've just put the Moon in there purely for representative purposes, and while we're at it, it won't be that big and Orion poorly drawn there. Next though we have the waxing crescents. Now this is the first part we can actually see. Waxing means to get bigger or larger, and this is sometimes called the young moon because it happens very early on in the cycle. Now you can sort of make out a smiley face there, and you can make note of where that waxing crescent is on the screen. Now we have the first quarter, and I know what you're thinking, that's not quarter, that's half illuminated, and you're completely correct, but what it means is it's a quarter of the way through its cycle. Now before we have the full moon though, we have something called a waxing gibbous, the moon being 3/4 illuminated. Now if you're studying GCSE astronomy, a waxing gibbous, I would say, the question occurred a few years ago on a past paper, and I would say it occurs 10 days or so into the cycle, and that's what I'd say for in terms of when does a waxing gibbous appear in the cycle, and I'd say about 10 days into the cycle. Now though, we have the full moon, the time which eclipses take place. Now eclipses are something that we'll cover in a later video, so don't worry about that. Now when I'm saying watching the screen, you'll notice that everything now, an hour halfway through, goes back in reverse. We have something called a Wanning gibbous. Wanning means to gradually get decreasing in size, and just if you're wondering, Wanning is also a city in the southeast of China because I researched it. Now after a Wanning gibbous we have the last quarter, and as you can see we're 3/4 of the way through our cycle, and again it's half illuminated, but look at where, if you take note of where it seems to have switched over to the different side. The terminator, it's called this, it's the line which divides the left and right side of the moon. The terminator is quite literally just flipped, and we can see the unilluminated side of the same side, it's worth noting, of the moon, but on the different same side. Now after the last quarter we have the final part before the whole phase starts again, and it's called the Wanning crescent, and this goes over the eastern horizon, and after the Wanning crescent goes, the whole cycle starts all over again. So to recap our lesson, we've learned what the moon is, why we have phases, and what each of the phases individually are. If you're struggling with anything though, or want to suggest a video title, just put it in the comment section. In terms of suggestions, can we sort of keep it to the space sort of series, because I want to look at the inner planets, meteors, comets, and I want to have a tour around the solar system, which is something I really want to be interested in. So any suggestions, just put them below, and I'll try my best to make the videos. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.